Number 1, Computer Cube. Cable's back from the future, and he's not there for a vacation. He teams up with the X-Men to stop that future from ever happening. Things got bad after a place called Genosha fell, so Cable and his dad Cyclops gotta take down this big bad named Bastion before he gets too strong. This Bastion dude's behind something called Operation Zero Tolerance, which sounds like no good news for mutants. By the way, Cable's got that cool Technocube computer we saw before that helps him travel through time and stuff. It's pretty neat. Number 2, connection to Doctor Strange and Kamar-Taj. So the X-Men are talking to Cable about Genosha getting wiped out, right? And Beast brings up these guys called the sorcerers of Kamar-Taj, who apparently study moments in time that can't be changed. Sounds familiar? Like those what-if stories where things are stuck. But hey, the coolest part? This Kamar-Taj stuff means there's more to this world than just mutants and the X-Men. Remember Doctor Strange and Wong from the old cartoon? Looks like they might still be kicking around too. Number 3, William Stryker. We saw William Stryker on TV at the Da Costa's place, right? He's the guy talking about a war between humans and mutants. Sounds pretty intense. This Stryker character seems to be a big deal, just like in the X-Men comics. Here's the interesting thing, though. These different actors have played Stryker in the movies since 2003. In the first movie, X2, it was Brian Cox, who played a Colonel version of Stryker. Then they showed a younger Stryker in the couple other movies. Danny Huston took on the role for X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then Josh Hellman played him in the more recent X-Men Files, starting with Days of Future Past. Number 4, reference to the Nazis. At the OZT headquarters where Bastion runs things, there's this big fight going on. Valerie Cooper is basically calling Mr. Sinister Bastion's own personal Dr. Evil. Bastion gets all huffy and says he actually knew this Mengele guy, and that he was a total disappointment. Apparently, this Mengele could have done amazing things, but instead, he just became a Nazi lackey. Now, this Mengele guy sounds awful. Back in World War II, he was with the bad guys, the Nazis, and he did horrible experiments on Jewish people who were trapped in these awful camps. People call him the Angel of Death because of how cruel he was. Basically, Valerie is saying Mr. Sinister is a terrible scientist who works for bad guys, just like that Mengele guy. Bastion is trying to defend himself by saying he at least knew someone who could have been great, even though that person turned out awful too.